Darling, you send me, I know you send me. Darling, you send me, I know you send me. Darling, you.
It's Monday morning, it's just gone 7:30 and I'm in the office. Whoa, this chair is low. I'm in the office now, and the first thing and pretty much the only thing that I need to work on today is the things that we reshot with Ali at the end of the day on Friday. So that was the video pictures that he's going to be sending out to clients. We shot it once, but the cuts that I needed to make didn't necessarily have any cutaways that were really relevant to cover those cuts. So then I only had the one shot, which meant there was loads of jump cuts because I had nothing to cut to. So we shot it again with two cameras, one just the wide on him like the original shot that we did, and then just an extra camera for another shot. It was kind of like a little bit more of a close-up. So we shot that so that I've got something to at least cut away to if there's no kind of like graphics or any shots that I can kind of cut to that are relevant. So that's the main thing to do today, but the first thing, I'm going to have some breakfast that I brought with me, because usually, especially recently, I've been skipping breakfast a lot, and I mean, I usually do anyway, but breakfast is actually really important. So I brought an apple, a banana, and then two kind of like bar granola things. So that's what I'm gonna have for breakfast. And hopefully it will mean that I feel a little bit better, because when I get in at 7:30, I go for lunch with everyone else at 12, but obviously everyone else gets into the office about 9. So the gap between them getting into the office and them having lunch, obviously it's like a fairly average gap, but obviously I'm in the office an hour and a half earlier, which means I've gotten up even earlier than that. So it's a long time to go without eating anything, and whilst I'm kind of moving about using energy, it's probably not good. I think I've got this set up ready. It's kind of a bit all over the place. I've got a camera set up here, a light up there, that's why the light's kind of like really harsh. But I think I'm ready now for this part of the vlog. Although, first, I'm gonna move this table back slightly, keep it out of shot on this camera. This camera's rolling. Is that still? Yeah, I guess so. That's just a clap to sync this camera and that camera together, because obviously I'm going to need something to sync them up, so that clap obviously just gives like a massive spike on the timeline. I'm ready for this segment of the vlog now. So I've been at the office all day today, and I've been working on the video pitch with Ali. Well, I've been editing that, and it's going really well. I managed to get pretty much like the base pitch done, so now all that needs to be done, I need to add a few last graphics and like a title for the whole video. So it'll come up like, boom, Ali's video pitches. And then all I need to do is add each person's name and company, like the intro that Ali does, so he'll come on. So Ali will walk onto camera and say, "Hi, Bill from X company, blah 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 blah." And then it goes into the kind of standard video that will be the video pitch. So that's what I've been editing at the office all day today, and it's going well. I'm nearly done, just a few last things to add to it. But what this segment of this vlog is really about is I got a delivery. It was one of the things that I got in the mail 2 days ago when I was saying that Chloe really likes mail, and then I had 2 things in the post. This is one of them. My address is on there, that's why I'm covering it up. And this is a card. This is a current account card, and it's from a small kind of new, well, it's from a new bank called Loot. And that's their packaging. It's quite cool. I mean, that's their branding that they use on pretty much everything, the little anchor. That's the back of the packaging, and it just has all their social media things. And how the card is packaged. And then it's got hashtag THISISLOOT. And that's the Loot card there. It looks quite cool. It's really cool because the card's kind of like see-through, it's like translucent. It looks quite cool. But I did a kind of little, not really, I wouldn't really call it a review, but I did a little explanation about a card that I got a while back called Monzo, and then I did a couple of vlogs for them. And I took part in their My Monzo Month Challenge. And what I did for Monzo is pretty much what I'm going to do now, but for Loot. To be honest, I don't actually know quite as much about Loot as I did about Monzo, but first I need my phone. I've got my phone. Whoa. And this is the Loot app, so I'm going to log in with the Touch ID. Obviously I've only just opened the card, so obviously I haven't set anything up on the app yet, just the registration process to get sent the card. I'm going to turn my brightness down a little bit, so, well, not that much. Oh, maybe a little bit more. I think now you can see on this camera what's going on the phone, because the brightness was really bright, so it's kind of contrasting too much, but I think I got the brightness about right. So I've got the little bit here that says activate card. Tap that. That's quite cool. I like on apps and like card apps and just anything that you are required to pay for or set up using some sort of card. I like when you can do that. I know you can see me right now through it, but I like when you can scan the card through here. Rather than having to type all of the digits in manually, you can just hold it in front. Boom. And it automatically went through as well. I didn't even have to click submit or next. Automatically went through. Click activate. Oh cool, so I get sent a text. I've got my activation code on there, so then I go back into the app and type that in. Oh. So weirdly it's asking me to scan the card again, which I assumed on the app it would have just picked up where it left from, but apparently not. And now I've got another activation code, so I guess I need to use the second one. Ah, okay, that's my PIN. Easy as that. My Loot card activated. So now I'm going to have a little play around on the app and kind of see what you can do, because one of the main differences with the Monzo card that I got a while back and this Loot card is that Loot are actually a bank. This is a current account, so this is like a debit card, whereas Monzo, when I got it and still, is still a prepaid card. So obviously the difference there is that with a prepaid card, the money that you put onto a prepaid card that's all the money you've got, whereas with a current account obviously there's things like overdrafts and etc, etc. You can set up direct debits and standing orders, and obviously you can't do that with a prepaid card. So that's the main difference between this and the Monzo card. Although they're very similar in the way that they both have no branches, they're purely like an online and on app, I guess, bank. That's the main thing that is similar. There's all these kind of new banks that are coming out of nowhere. All these companies that are obviously trying to take away from like the traditional high street banks. That's what like these guys are. Although one thing that I know is really cool about Loot is the guy who started it, or one of the guys who started it, is in his early 20s, I believe. I've met him at an event, we've done a couple of interviews with him, and I believe he's in his early 20s, and the whole concept behind Loot is that I know it's mainly kind of aimed towards uni students and that sort of age group, and it's mainly to help you budget. So their main goal is to obviously kind of help you save money and use your money wisely and work out how much money you should be spending on things and how much money you may have left to spend at the end of a month. So I'm just going to have a look on the app and try and work out how it all works. So this is just kind of like the main part of the app. This is where you can create a budget, send money to people, That's cool because obviously, because of the difference between Monzo and Loot, and Monzo being the prepaid card and Loot being an actual current account, it means that you can send money to anyone, whereas on Monzo, I think it has changed now, I haven't used it, but when I first got the card, you could only send money to people who also have a Monzo account, whereas this, you can send it to any bank account, and you can pay for stuff online. That's what that part of it is. Where it's got your available balance at the top, you can create a budget, and obviously that's to send money to people. Up here, where it's got kind of like a little animation of a person, that's all of my personal details and kind of like the account settings and stuff like that. And then on this section, I believe this is where you can see like a list of transactions and stuff. I haven't actually got into using the card yet, so I'm not too sure on all of the kind of ins and outs of the app, because I haven't used the card to see what comes up where and things like that. But I believe this is the section where all of your transactions will come up. I could be wrong. And then on this section, this is the card. So originally this is the part where I activated my card, but now that it's activated, I can click here, what's my PIN, I can tap on that. So then it sent me a text, which I type in a code and then it will tell me my PIN. I'm just gonna click off that because I don't need that. And then one thing here that's really cool, which you can also do on Monzo, is you can temporarily pause your card. So obviously if you lose your card, you can temporarily pause it. Just in case, because obviously if you think it might have been stolen or whatever, you don't want people using it. So you can pause your card, and then if you find it or whatever, you can unpause it, which is just easy. It means that you don't have to call up and cancel your card, which is really good. And then there's the last segment of the app, which is this, which is where you can create a goal. And I believe that is to do with the whole kind of budgeting and creating goals of how much you want to save / spend on certain things. I'm gonna go ahead and try and create a goal. I don't know how this properly works, so bear with me. So I'm gonna go ahead and tap create a goal. Goal name. Okay, so let's say I've obviously got some tattoos on my arms. I'm trying to save up to get the rest of my arm finished, so I'm gonna make the I'm gonna create the goal for saving money for that. So I'm gonna call this goal tattoo. Amount 700 because tattoos are expensive. Goal date. Let's say I'm gonna say by my birthday this year, because my birthday's in June and obviously it's the start of the year, so I think that's a good time to try and save up that amount of money. So I'm gonna go ahead and set that to 19th of June 2017, done. Then I hit create. Cool, and that's kind of the goal created there. I could be completely wrong with what I've just done there because I'm not sure. I mean, it's got like a little pin saying 0%, which is obviously the amount of the goal that's completed, but I'm not sure what that indicates. I don't know how my spending would kind of correlate with that goal, but obviously as I get used to the app, I'm sure I'll kind of work this all out. But I think for now, well, my camera's about to overheat because there's the little symbol with like a thermometer come up, so I need to wrap this up really quick. I know this one probably wasn't as informative as the Monzo account, but this card seems pretty cool. I'm gonna try and use it as much as possible, and because this is an actual kind of like debit card rather than a prepaid card, after I've used it for a little while, maybe a couple of weeks, if everything goes well with it, I'll probably look at making this my kind of, that's my phone. I'll probably look at making this my go-to card and kind of my general card. Hopefully everything goes well with it. It's really cool. That was what it looked like, and it like folded back like that, and then you open it out and it pops up. So that's quite cool. That's just like a nice little touch. I guess I'm just gonna have a play with the card, use it for a couple of weeks and see how it goes. And up here is just like a on-camera light, which I've actually balanced on my window handle.